Hello everybody. Today we are going to be going over derivatives of trig functions. So let me return to the first page here. Here there are some very basic trig function derivatives. So let's get started. Sine of x, the derivative of that is cosine x, pretty direct relationship. Cosine x is negative sine x. Tangent x is secant squared x. Now, the placement of these other three are going to be because sine of x is the reciprocal of cosine x, and the other way around, of course, and the same for all those other functions. So these are the basics. These are like the very easy ones. So cosecant x is negative cosecant x cotangent x. Secant x is secant x tangent x, and cotangent x is negative cosecant squared x. So that is it for the trig functions, the normal ones. But as you can see in these hyperbolic trig ones, you have the same relationship, just with something different. We'll get to those later. Now let's go with inverse trig functions. These are going to be these are also known as sine to the negative first, cosine to the negative first power, but the arc notation is a little more conclusive in my opinion, so that's why I'm using it. So arc sine is 1 over the square root of 1 minus x squared. Arc cosine x is negative 1 over the square root of 1 minus x squared. Arc tangent x is just 1 over 1 plus x squared. Arc cosecant is negative absolute value of x over x squared times the square root of x squared minus 1. And then arc secant x is the absolute value of x over x squared times the square root of x squared minus 1. And then the derivative of arc cotangent of x is negative 1 over 1 plus x squared. Pretty simple. There, usually the tangents are pretty simple to figure out. So these hyperbolic trigs, these are some pretty complicated functions in terms of their uses. You will definitely not be using them as often in calculus, but they are good to know. And they're also very fun to say. First, for example, we have sinh x. You could call it, hyperbolic sine, hyperbolic cosine, or whatever you want. But whatever the kids, they like saying these cool things. So I'll just say them. Sinh x, the derivative of sinh x is cosh x. Derivative of cosh x is sinh x. That's actually the only difference between the hyperbolic and the regular trig. In this case, the derivative of tanh x is sech x, or sech squared x specifically. Cosech x is negative coth x cosech x. Sech x is negative tanh x sech x, and then coth x is negative cosech squared x. So those are some pretty fun words to say, and also some very easily rememberable derivatives from your regular ones. Not much different. But now when we go into the inverse hyperbolic trig, we go into arc sinh x. The derivative of that is 1 over square root of 1 plus x squared. The derivative of arc cosh x is 1 over the square root of x squared minus 1. The derivative of arc tanh x is 1 over 1 minus x squared, which, if you noticed, is actually the same derivative as the arc coth x. Arc cosech x is negative 1 over the absolute value of x times the square root of 1 plus x squared. And then the derivative of arc sech x is negative 1 over x times the square root of 1 minus x squared. And then as we went over arc coth x, the derivative of that is 1 over 1 minus x squared. So those are all of your trig derivatives that you will find. There are I think 12. There's 24 of them. 24 of them. So you don't have to remember all of them, because the only ones you'll ever be using are probably these functions, these inverse trigs, and these normal trigs. You probably won't be using these hyperbolic trig functions very often in Calculus 1. So that's it for this video, and I hope you like it. Subscribe, notifications, and all that. I'll be posting more videos Obviously, I took a little break for a little bit to find some new equipment that will be coming soon. But I hope everyone has a good day and goodbye.